Mixed signal games. I want you, I don't want you. Hello, my name is Greta Bereisaite. I'm dating and relationship coach for women. For Be Awesome, High Value Woman Secret, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And just before, I will share with you 6 mixed signal games, and I will also share the outcome, what I think about it all. Don't forget to take my free self-awareness test to find out are you behaving as a high value or a low value woman, which I will drop down in the video description box below. And also, if you would like to learn how to become high value from the core, I published my book, which is called Devoted Relationships. I highly recommend you guys to get it. You can find it on Amazon by Greta Bereisaite. And also, if you like my merch, it's Goals and Not the Drama, you can get it on my YouTube store or on my website. Before I will share with you those tips on mixed signals, I am reading this book, which is called The Pickup Artist, The New and Improved Art of Seduction, The Mystery, right? So I actually did a lot of series on this pickup artist before in other videos, and you can find the links to those videos somewhere here. So here we go again from this book, The Mixed Signal number 1. And ladies, just by reading this book, I realized that this book is teaching men to have mixed signals through entire relationship. Not just like, the way I coach girls, you can banter with him and you can tease each other a little bit. As long as the intention is good and not to put the other person down, right? More like to have a laugh at yourself, right? Whereas this book is taking it to an extreme, it's taking to a whole new level, and it's basically telling men to do mixed signals through the whole relationship. So it's hot and cold constantly. So you're never feeling safe and secure as a woman, and you're always worried, you're always insecure, you're always overthinking, always thinking, does he like you, does he not like you, is he gonna cheat, is he gonna do this, is he gonna do that? So unhealthy to so many levels. And because so many guys are listening to these bestseller pickup artists, that is one of the reasons why we have an insane amount of toxic relationships. One of the example would be, oh, I really like you, I'm so into you, etc. I want a relationship with you. Then let's say perhaps you date him for a while, then you sleep with him, and then 2 days after he says, oh, we just friends. So this is an example of a mixed signal. It's kind of like dating a chaos with no certainty. So as a high value woman, you don't have a choice but to step out of it, because this guy is actually presenting himself as a liar. He's lying to your face. He says, let's be together, and then the next day, oh, we just friends. How can you trust this guy long term? You can't. He might say, oh, let's go on holidays together. Oh, I never said that. So it's like the opposite of a man that's secure and confident, and that's a man of his word. Anyway, what I find, these tricks kind of work the most on more like girls in their 20s that don't have that much life experience. The more mature women can actually support themselves, we just choose to stay single. It's just too much of a headache, it's crazy. Now the mixed signal number 2 is persistence. Men are really encouraged here to be persistent, just kind of don't give up and go for it. Even if she says no, just keep going, eventually you will get her. Which I actually do agree with this on many levels. It's sometimes you're not really sure about a guy, but because he's so keen and persistent and he does so many things for you, you start to slowly like him, right? So I do agree with this. However, it's done in a very wrong way, in a way that, you give her hot and cold, and when she steps back, when you're being cold to her, then you're persistent to kind of get her back. It's like, don't give up, keep going for it. And when you get her back, you're doing hot and cold again. And then she steps back, and then you're persistent to get her back. So it's basically teaching this insanely toxic cycle, which is just so bizarre and unhealthy. But again, I see it in many, many relationships. Interesting thing about it is that this cycle can happen naturally. Perhaps he did something bad to you and you step back. And then the natural cycle is like, oh, damn it, I messed up, and then he pursues you. So this can actually happen in a natural way, which by itself can be complicated if you don't understand the differences between men and women. However, what this book does, it's influencing men to do it as a game, which is so bizarre to me, because just by being with a guy naturally and complementing each other, it can be so challenging because men and women are so different and nobody talks about these differences anymore. If anything, people are encouraged to believe that we are very similar, and we are not. What this book is influencing is like not even like to learn about each other's differences and know how to work with that, but to make things even more chaotic, to bring into a relationship even more problems. So it's just like, it's insane to me. It's just completely insane to me. Number 3, it's encouraging men to be vulgar with women, and they calling it hot, or that women love that. And yes, again, I can see myself even getting intrigued when a guy says something a bit vulgar. Then you are in your early 20s, then you are a teenager. Sometimes you look at this guy and you think like, oh, this guy can actually stand up for himself, right? Because he said something vulgar, which is like a teenage mindset. So this teenage mindset is brought into this book, and these guys that are 30, 40, 50, 60 are using this teenage mindset. So for example, it says, say something to her vulgar. So you're kind of giving hot and cold, but say this vulgar stuff as a banter with a smile. So for example, maybe you are cuddling together and he says, get off of me, enough. Like, so that way you get a bit like, oh, what's going on? But he says it with a cheeky smile, so it cannot be that bad. So not only that this is giving a mixed signal, it's also insanely rude. And I know so many women that will get offended and insecure over something like this to a whole new level. Imagine this, right? He says something vulgar to you with a cheeky smile, right? And you banter back, you let it off, right? Then after a while, he's gonna start calling you a B word with a cheeky smile. And if you're not gonna call him out on it, if you're not gonna set in a boundary and be like, excuse me, this is really disrespectful, next time he'll start to call you a B word and different vulgar things without a cheeky smile. Because if you accept it when he's joking, a time will come when he'll do these things when he's not joking. So, not stopping this vulgarity in time and allowing it is basically the first steps towards emotional abuse. Number 4, it's actually teaching men how to get into the girl's pants, right, by showing her that he's interested. So especially if a woman shares something with a guy, maybe a vulnerability or a story or her goals or her dreams, or just shares things. Women like to talk, they like to share. So it basically says, show her that you're really interested in what she has to say, like intensively listen. That way you will bond with her, and she'll feel safe and she'll feel like you like her. Now, a lot of women fall into this trap on the first couple dates. So the guy takes her out, he knows what to say to her, And whenever she shares something, he attentively listens. He looks very interested, like he has never heard anything like this before, like you're the one, like he's looking for common interest just in order to make you feel safe. And these guys try to drag on these dates. So for example, maybe you went for dinner, then you'll be like, oh, let's go to a club, and then you maybe dance and you bond more. And then after that, he's trying to be a great communicator, he's trying to be a great listener. So maybe you go to his house for a glass of wine, and then you talk till the morning, and in the morning, you know, the sexual stuff happens. And then guess what? A day after, like, there is no phone call, nothing like that. He got what he wanted, and now he's out of it. And then the girls go like, but Greta, he was so amazing, he was so perfect, you know, he listened to everything, we talked all night, so it just like happened so naturally. Ladies, it's a game. It's a game. It's just a pure game. This is why you just have to stay logical. And men nowadays, we take this game to a whole new level because people are taught to be only responsible for themselves and not for others. So he's kind of, when he's playing these games, he's thinking like, well, if she's naive and dumb, that's her problem, not mine. So now we came to this point in the society that people don't even care about morality. You know, if I'm taking advantage of you, if I'm manipulating, if I'm playing games with you, it's your fault because you're naive. You know, and yes, as a woman, you should take responsibility. And even in the Bible, it says, do not be a naive woman. Not only that, the game is a whole new level, it's actually allowed. These books are made bestsellers. We are for sale. We are approved by today's society, you know. Number 5 is give her genuine compliments. So it's kind of like, you know, like if the girl is not a 10, maybe she's a 7 or a 6, right? And she doesn't look like a model. Tell her that you're not really into models because we are all boring, that you have a lovely smile, your character, you're not into these 6-foot models, and etc., right? So it's kind of like teaching men how to give genuine compliments. And you know, I think a man should know to compliment a woman, etc. But when you read these books, you get so disappointed because when you go on a date with a guy and you don't really know, is he just giving you a compliment because he wants something from you, or does he actually like you? And this is where it just becomes kind of like disappointing and sad. Saying that, you can still find out, is he liking you for you, or is he just playing a game with you? And the only way to find out that is to give it time. You know, behave high value, behave with self value, behave with self respect. Don't sleep with him too soon. And if it's just a game, he's gonna give up on you very soon because he's just gonna go for someone else. Women are very easy nowadays. He can easily go for someone else if he's not interested in you. In today's society, we really just must watch their actions, not their words, over a pretty long period of time until we actually can say, okay, I can see that he's truly into me and it's not just a game. Number 6 game is for kind of like, if you want to be a smooth player, don't try to impress her. Like, you know, I have so many houses and I'm this and I'm that. It says more like be smooth and drop in these names or these things that you own or have through a conversation so you come across more genuine. You know, it's as I said to you ladies before, so many girls go on dates and they go, but he was so nice and he was so genuine and etc. And I just want to make something very, very clear. Being genuine can be a huge game. So many people are genuine on social media. So many people run genuine businesses. When you behave as a genuine person, others can trust you, they relate to you more, they buy from you, they sleep with you. So being genuine can be a very skilled high player's game. And I just really want you to keep that in mind, because the game only works when it's done in a genuine way. Here comes kind of the last one, the last bit, which I kind of like, I'm gonna summarize it into an outcome as well, so we can call it number 7. The book, it's really highly promoted that majority of women cheat. If she has a boyfriend, completely ignore that fact and still approach her, because she will just cheat on her boyfriend. So women are presented in this book very toxic, very cheap, with no moral values whatsoever. By playing these type of games, these men kind of go for women with no moral values and the ones that cheat on their boyfriends, because these type of women are the most receptive to these type of games, because they live in a chaos, the guys live in a chaos, and they just naturally end up choosing each other. What happens long term, let's say these guys are approaching these cheap women that are cheating on their boyfriends, that are falling for these games, and when these guys get into relationships with these women, and they become insanely insecure with them, because if you could steal her from her boyfriend, who is there to say that she's not gonna cheat on you, that she's not gonna be flirting with these other guys? You know, who is there to say that she's gonna be loyal and faithful? So what I find nowadays, a lot of player type guys are insanely insecure themselves in their relationships, because they themselves have been cheated on many times by playing these games and automatically choosing these type of toxic women. So the kind of outcome is that these guys are just becoming more and more insecure. They are hurting others, and long term they keep hurting themselves. So we kind of are just stuck in this toxic cycle. We believe in it so much that we do these same things, these same strategies, these same games, sometimes until we die. I actually met 70, 60 years olds that are playing these type of games. So ladies, this is it. That's my video for today. If you enjoyed it, please press like. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think? Did you had any experience with these type of guys? Join Greta's High Value Women's School, where we are all in the same boat, learning how to be women of high value and bring out the best in our men. Follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is called Ladies Relationship Coach. And for one-on-one coaching with me or with a member of my team, book me through my website, which is called gretabereisaite.com. Thank you for watching, my queens. Kisses from Dorset. Mwah.